Hello and welcome to Saturday. And if it's Saturday, it means it is Tiny Race Day. Today we are racing the first race on the Salzburg course, which means that we are going up the Legsnapper and we're actually going to finish at the top or the KOM banner of the Legsnapper. So the Legsnapper is a short but very steep climb. It's not a climb, it's a ramp, just a few hundred meters long. So it will be a very short but hard effort at the end of this race. We have a good group of around 80 people today in the category A. So yeah, with the learnings from the past races, my plan is to stay somewhere close to the front, trying to not take too much wind, trying to keep something left for the Legsnapper in the tank. But that's usually quite difficult on the tiny races because, as you maybe know already, they are relatively short. So this one is around 5.5 kilometers. They are raced very hard from the beginning. So I was averaging for 5 minutes in this race. I was averaging 435 watts. You will see that to the end, I hardly dropped below 400 watts in the second half of the race. Very important to do warm up before, which I did around 10k in tempos, just pedaling with a little bit of effort just to get the heart rate up a little bit. But you see, now here heart rate is 156 and we're just 90 seconds into the race. So it is ridden hard from the beginning. Doing here around 5 watts per kilogram for the beginning to stay with the front group. And because the group is usually so compact, it is if you drop your power a little bit for a few seconds, you're 20-30 places back. So you really need to keep focus, to stay close to the front of the race. And I think I did that quite well in this one. We had a few people from the team here as well. Maybe not the strongest field of the tiny races, but still, I think every tiny race in the Cat A is a strong field. Here we had a few people who were trying to get a little bit away, but fortunately a few other guys were reacting as well. So we closed the gap relatively quickly, but it was hard work. As you can see, I'm riding a quite high cadence in these short races because I have the impression that it's a little bit less stress on the joints and on the knees. So usually in the tinies I'm doing between I would say 95 and 100 RPM for my cadence. And you see heart rate is going up. We're at over 160 already, and I can tell you I think the highest heart rate I had in this race was 185. So it's a full all out effort. There's not much zone 2 in this race. We're approaching almost halfway already, just around 3 kilometers to go, and power keeping steady around 400 watts, just below, just above, just to make sure that I'm staying in the, I would say, top 20 in the race. My goal for these races usually is I would say to stay with the front big group, because if there's any breakaways, I usually have no chance of staying with them because they're just too strong. Here we see that we have Jan in front of us with from our team, the Dragons, and also had a good race. Also a little bit one of the strong guys, so bigger guys but high power output, and I'm sure that he was also looking forward for the Legsnapper to smash himself up there. But so it was a nice race, and we're now approaching the second half, and you see, as I said, power is just getting up and up and up together with my heart rate. So we're now pushing around 450 watts, which is close to 6 watts per kilogram, just to stay with the front group. So that's not attacking, there's no breakaway. It's just in the draft of the other guys, just to make sure that the front pack is not completely getting away. The good thing of these attacks is that the field is getting a bit stretched. So if you're staying with the front of the field, you have a better chance in the finish of the race to position yourself well. Here I came through with a little bit of overspeed, so ended up in the front of the race, which is a place where I don't want to be at the beginning of the Legsnapper, because otherwise I'll get completely destroyed. So I took down the power a little bit, just to make sure that some other people came around to enjoy a little bit of draft before we are getting to the final parts of the race. You see, I'm suffering already in the video in the corner. Sweat is dripping down or raining down my face. But yeah, that's life in the tiny races. Cadence high around 100, heart rate high around 173 at the moment. Just keeping on climbing. And yeah, I think from now on I don't really drop below 400 watts until the end of the race. It's the last little breather before we are getting to some twisty left rights and over the bridge, and then we head into the Legsnapper. So 900 meters to go. I do have, as most people still have a feather power up, which of course I plan to use on the last part of the Legsnapper. You see here the stats of the Legsnapper. So it's around 400 meter long at an average of 7%. Has a steep finish part, a little bit more shallow in the beginning, and now we're getting towards the final part. Yeah, I'm positioned relatively well. Top 10, top 20 is good, and now we are into the Legsnapper. We see the feathers the power ups are taken, and now I'm accelerating with whatever I have left. But yeah, my watts per kilogram is just not high enough to keep with the front. But I'm quite happy to put out around 800 watts. I think my 1 minute power was at 580, which is solid. It's around 8 watts per kilogram, and I'm quite happy with that. And yeah, so I'm keeping my position that I am on the Legsnapper. So I finished 28th. But yeah, a solid race. Hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, if you like to see me suffering in some more races, then subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, drop them down below, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, bye bye.